Welcome, everyone. We will get started very soon. Welcome, everyone, to our November emPOWERed session. My name is Virginia Hunt, and I serve as your AVID District Coordinator. For those of you joining us live, feel free to connect via chat and ask questions. We're here for you. If you are watching this recording, thank you so much for watching this recording, and please feel free to share your experience on social media and let others know that we are here to empower one another. Let's get started. Here you see the amazing people who are all part of your ECISD emPOWERed team. We have the AVID and Post-Secondary Department, the Digital Learning Department, and the Guidance and Counseling Department. We are available through chat today or through our departments every day if you have questions or if you want to reach out. Don't be shy. We love to hear from you. Our purpose for emPOWERed, student success. That's our number one priority as educators in ECISD. Student success is about the entire child. We want to make sure that the students are being supported both at school and at home. And the real power comes in all of us working together. Our focus for today. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to connect to our virtual family picnic. Some of you were able to participate. Some of you don't know what I'm talking about. That's okay. We're going to make some connections today. Then we're going to go up into our 7 mindsets, attitude of gratitude. We're going to connect all of that to digital footprints and how digital footprints affect your future, which, by the way, gets to be planned through Naviance. And if you don't know what Naviance is, you will today. And then this month's challenge, creating a vision board, getting all of that together so that it can inspire and motivate you as you plan for your future. We're going to end with some final thoughts. And as always, we want feedback from you to help us grow. So, in November, on November 4th, we had a community-wide event. If you got a chance to participate, awesome. If not, it's not too late. Check out the emPOWERed site for the activities and the videos for the gratitude scavenger hunt. The first step in developing an attitude of gratitude is internal. It's to think and reflect. So the gratitude scavenger hunt gave us an opportunity to do that. You can talk it out, draw it out, or write it out. And so this is all ways that some students were able to draw, some people were able to write, and of course, all of us were able to communicate together and think about what we want to give thanks. What are we grateful for? But ultimately, you want to make sure you get your attitude of gratitude in action. So this is the gratitude scavenger hunt in action. If you follow ECISD on social media, you can connect with campuses all over the district and get to see how everyone is showing their gratitude. For example, here we have our crosstown band supporting each other with snacks and encouragement. We have individuals who volunteer and read to kindergartners through our Bookworms program. We also get a chance to connect with our community with the community trunk or treat or with the breakfast with Santa. Businesses also always give back, and they give donations to support the schools all through the education foundations. All of these are ways that ECISD is showing what we are thankful for and positively connecting with our world, which is what our reflection question was all about. What are you grateful for? Begin thinking and reflecting. Our amazing SEL coordinator, Amanda Lopez, is up next to guide us through developing an attitude of gratitude. It's all yours, Amanda.
Thank you, Virginia, and thank you for opening up today's session for us. Thank you all of you for joining us today. Our session is titled Attitude of Gratitude, Positively Connecting with Our World. So that actually encompasses 2 of the 7 mindsets that your students are learning about in school. I'm going to talk to you about both of them so you can have an idea and learn a little bit more about the different mindsets. So the attitude of gratitude teaches us the importance of seeking positives from every experience and being thankful for what we have. Through this mindset, we can learn to use positives or negatives of our lives as the foundation on which we build. Choose positives and we're on the way towards positive, extraordinary success. Choose negatives and we embark on a path toward disappointment, resentment, and suffering. In these lessons, students are guided to focus on all the things they do have, leaving no time to be distracted by what they don't. So there are 4 critical components of the attitude of gratitude. Number 1 is treasure yourself. We create wonderful lives we want by harvesting great things within us. There are often things we don't like about ourselves, but we must recognize we're made of far more wonderful things than not so wonderful things. We need to recognize our own worth and see our uniqueness as something to treasure and develop so we can live the extraordinary lives we're meant to live. Number 2, be more grateful. We all have the choice to focus on good or bad. If we focus on the positive things, they expand and guide us down the path to our dreams. If we spend time in regret, jealousy, and anger, then the negatives multiply and we likely find our dreams sidelined and our goals unattained. We must simply be more grateful, reflecting on as much as possible on the good things we have in our lives now, as well as those that are coming to us. Think it forward is one of the best and quickest ways to feel better and become happier is to do something for someone else. And as the easiest as well as one of the most powerful things we can do for someone is to express gratitude for who they are and what they mean to us. Thanking someone provides 2 wonderful gifts. It makes the other person feel good and it makes us happy at the same time. Elevate your perspective. People who achieved great lives point to moments of great adversity and challenge when they learned a lesson or built the essential skill that allowed them to be successful. Knowing this, we understand why it is important to seek the positives from all situations, even those that seem completely negative. When we do this, we get better, learn, and grow in essential ways to help us live rich and fuller lives. Now it's time for a reflection question. So what are you grateful for? List as many things as you can. It can be small things or major things. And this can be hard when we first start trying to do gratitude journaling, but the more that we do it, the easier it becomes. And research shows that people who practice gratefulness and journaling every day are able to add up to 7 years of their lifespan just from practicing gratitude. So here are some tips for parents and caregivers, do's and don'ts at home. Practice gratitude every day because the more that we practice it, the more it becomes a habit. And then we don't have to take so much effort to be grateful. It just becomes one of those natural things that we do. Say thank you regularly to your kids. Let them know that you're grateful for the things that they are doing. Write thank you notes to them. Leave them little surprise notes, letting them know how much you appreciate them. Treasure yourself and take care of yourself as a role model because they need you to be well as well. And don't let the bad times be all bad. Instead, believe that the universe is conspiring to do you good. And the bad times and obstacles are there to teach you something useful. So now we'll switch over to the We Are Connected mindset. The We Are Connected mindset teaches us that everyone who comes into our lives can help us achieve and live our dreams. Working with, for, and through others is crucial to realizing our dreams. When we understand this and constantly seek the positive from relationships, our performance in every area of our life improves. In lessons for this mindset, we help students explore synergies with others, embrace diversity, and relish the competition that will allow them to maximize potential by working with and through others. So the 4 components of this one are embrace everyone. Every person that comes into our lives has the potential to help us, hurt us, or have no impact at all. It makes sense to figure out how someone may be able to help us because the other options mean we're not growing or getting closer to our dreams and may even be taking steps away from them. People who live great lives embrace everyone and constantly seek ways to serve and connect with those they encounter. Maximize positive relationships. Some people in our lives lift us up and make us better while other people bring us down. We must work to spend more time with people that empower us and less with the ones who don't. We should always seek to expand ways to get more out of and put more into great relationships in our lives. Number 3, build your dream team. So building a dream team is about identifying the people who can help us live our dreams. People that have experience we can draw from, access to resources, or can provide us with critical support as we start the path towards our dreams and face the challenges that will bring. The important step is to recognize the critical role others play in our lives and deliberately begin developing relationships that will help us. And finally, lead with value. When we find people who can help us in life, we need to start building those relationships so the cycle of giving can begin. A lesson many learn is the ways we seek ways to provide help before asking for help for others, we will get much more out of the relationship. We should always look for ways to lead with value to supercharge our relationships. So, reflection question. Identify an individual you met recently. Ask yourself why he or she may have come into your life and how meeting them could be a positive thing. Then consider what service you might provide to them to help them live their dreams. Reflection number 2. Identify an existing relationship you perceive as negative or challenging. Examine it and try to decide how something positive might emerge from it. And finally, we have some do's and don'ts at home for you with this mindset as well. So do spend time talking about and modeling the We Are Connected mindset. Do look for ways to connect with other people. Do find ways to give back and lead with value in the community. Don't spend time talking about others negatively, and don't discourage kids from making new friends. So sometimes we may not at first glance think we're just absolutely fond of the kids that our kids decide to be friends with, but we want to encourage them to get to know all different kinds of people. And it's important to talk to them about their relationship with others and find value in these connections. So talk through the values and what's most important when building relationships with others. And then to sum it up, both our We Are Connected and our attitude of gratitude mindset, I have a short little video for you all. So that is it from me for today. Thank you so much again to everybody for having us. Thinking about combining our two mindsets of being grateful for what we do have, grateful for the people in our lives, and then looking out for each other. We are all connected, and taking these lessons from Geese of sometimes we're going to be in the front helping other people. Sometimes we're going to be in the back receiving the help. Sometimes we're going to have to drop down with our friends and make sure that they're doing okay. So please just enjoy the lessons that we're sharing with you. And thank you very much. And I'll pass it on over to Lauren with digital learning.
Hey there, friends. My name is Lauren Tavares. I'm the director for digital learning, and I'm so excited for you guys to be with us again for another emPOWERed. This portion of our show is going to be about raising digital leaders. So really helping our students as they navigate the digital world. We all know that they are doing that at a level that is beyond anything they've ever done before. But also, too, there's increasingly more opportunities to be online, both academically and at home. And so this is going to be all about social media. And so all of the resources, the information that we share with you during these emPOWERed sessions, is particularly with the Raising Digital Leaders portion, is based on a book that is written by Jennifer Costa-Todd. We completely and 100% recommend it to families. It was written in the last 6 months, in the last year or so, and it's written for a parent audience. And so to be able to help you guys read along with us, and again, each month we are going to have just pull out some bits and pieces that we want to share, but we would love for you to read with us. And so if you would like a copy for free of Raising Digital Leaders, if you'll just use the link in this presentation or scan this QR code right now. Hey, it's going to pull up a Google form that you're just going to put in your information. Our team checks it, and we are going to be mailing to you or delivering to your school, either way, a copy of Raising Digital Leaders. So you guys are able to read along with us and follow along with the information that we have. And so I absolutely have loved this book and just felt like it's something that I wanted to find but was missing. And so in these sessions, of course, it's just short pieces of information. And there's so much more, though, that we are not able to share for the amount of time that we have. We really probably could do an hour-long session just on Raising Digital Leaders. Hey, so with the new world that we live in, I guess traditionally we've all heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? So for human beings of all ages to truly feel accepted, satisfied, like they're getting what they need. Typically, we've seen it set up in this pyramid structure, right? And so psychological needs must be met first, and then safety needs can be met next. Self-actualization, you can't. In the past, you couldn't get to that until you had all of the layers below fulfilled. Well, in this book, it really talks about how that's kind of been restructured. It's been rewired with the world that we live in. And so for human beings now, it's all about connections. Hey, and so for kids, for adults, for us to feel truly to find that self-actualization, our connections must be met in these different ways. And so, of course, you've got going around that circle, the different things that must be completed for the whole human to be good. The reason I bring this up before we get into the social media aspect of this is that you're going to see honestly, for adults, and maybe speaking to some of you today too, but for adults and for students, for society today, social media plays such a big role in our day-to-day life and in just the connections that we have with others. Really, honestly, something that I think is pretty cool about social media and just the digital community that we have access to is that you have connections to people all over the world. Hey, in the past, before social media really took off, your typical connections day to day would be those that you saw face to face in person, those you worked with, that you go to school with, your family. And so, but you'll notice that in our interactions on social media, community, belonging, and love, are very closely connected to social media and the interactions, positive or negative, that people have online, esteem, reputation, and competence. There's a very strong connection to the connections that people have and the way that they interact on social media and what they take from social media in their experience. So what is social media? Hey, and if you're new to social media, you're not engaged in social media, no worries. Hey, this is definitely designed for audiences of all types. And maybe it's just not your thing, but I think if you're watching this, you're watching it because you want to be able to best support our students and our kids in ECISD. And so even if you're not engaging in social media, I think it's important to know what it is. And so really social media are those digital platforms that can be accessed online, where users create online communities, to share their personal messages, make connections with one another, share ideas, and learn. I mean, really, there are so many positives that can come from social media in a very unique way that maybe we have not had access to in the past. And so some examples of this that you may have heard of, and probably our most popular for all age groups, would be Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And so where individuals can go on, create a profile, and really establish their presence online. Now, the power of social media, and so I think a lot of times it's very easy to focus on the negative. A lot of times, those one or two bad situations tend to influence how we feel about all of something. Social media definitely gets a bad rap for that way, but it can be used for good. It can definitely be used for good. It allows students, and adults to make connections to other people's other ideas. Now, I will say, I think it's very important as a parent and as an adult in a child's life to be very, very aware of the social medias that they're looking at. There are age requirements on all social media, but to be honest, it is pretty simple to bypass that if someone chooses to. So I think it's really important as parents, we have those conversations with our students about, why do you want to be on social media? A lot of our students are on social media. A lot of them have profiles, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And so just kind of talking about, why do you want that? Hey, what is it that the student is looking for? We go back to our rewiring of Maslow. Hey, are they looking for a connection? Are they looking to build a self-esteem? And are they socially mature enough to handle that? And so social media definitely can be used to build people up, or it can be used to tear them down. And so it's all about how we approach our use of social media and what is our purpose. Why are we there? What are we looking to gain? I think as adults, it's also very important for us to model positive online interactions. You definitely, I have seen and witnessed and been around social media experiences where people maybe weren't making the best choices and weren't handling themselves in a way that others, built people up. It didn't add any positive value to those that were seeing their posts or their information that they were sharing. And so just really talking to kids about how powerful social media can be. There are many, honestly, many younger, typically middle school age are the examples I'm thinking of. But there's the age is not a limit anymore for the impact on society. Honestly, there's some younger 13, 14, 15 kids that have gone out there and just made a huge impact with the message they're sharing, and they've really led to social change. So it can be a good thing, but I think it's important as parents, we really talk about what the purpose in using social media is going to be. And then also too, being very transparent and upfront with your child that you are going to you're going to be present in their social media interactions. So even friending them or following them, and just being there to be ready to have those conversations if something does happen, and you need to redirect them. they need to be taught this. Hey, this is something that I think a lot of times we assume people will just know. And in the same way that we teach them to be kind to each other face to face, this also needs to happen when in a digital community. Now, supporting your social media. Like I said, we need to equip our kids, hey, with the safeguards and the strategies to keep them safe. They need to know where they should be going and where they should not. Keeping that focus always in the center of what are they engaging in social media for? Do they want to make a positive difference? Do they want to build people up? Do they want to leave kind comments to one another? And so just being very open and making sure that your child knows that if something does happen, they can come talk to you. I think many of the situations as the digital learning coordinator that I become involved in, students didn't feel like they could talk to somebody. They didn't have anyone they could go to. And so they were basically engaging in social media with no help. And that's where I think we set students up for not to be as successful online as we could be. So just having that support system, it's interesting because honestly, for me, that's no different if we're face to face or if we're online, right? Students are more successful when they know that they have a support system, and so that can be in any aspect of their life. But just encouraging them to think before they post. And so we talk a lot about with our older students that digital footprint, and you're going to hear a little more about that. But once it's posted and it's digital and it's out there, it's forever. And just helping them see the permanence in what they're putting out online through any of the platforms. It can change the course of their future. And so just helping them, just think about it. I think before you put that out there, and is it going to will it benefit your whatever it is they're hoping to do later in life? And so just kind of a strategy to help students and to guide your conversations if you need one. I really like this one. And so this is not new, but this is one that was shared in Raising Digital Leaders in the book. Okay, and so she talks about, she has probably 5 or 6 different strategies. If this is not your thing and you want a different one to consider, again, let us know. We will send you a book for free. And you're more than welcome to check this out. All of this is coming from chapter 3. Hey, but when you're teaching students to think critically before they post, they're gonna watch, they're gonna learn, and they are impacted by the behavior they see. Hey, and they often imitate it. So parents and guardians, grandparents, aunts, uncles, whoever's making a difference in the child's life, think about how you interact online as well. And before we post, all of us should consider, is it true? Okay, so checking multiple sources. I think in the last year and a half, we've really seen the power for positive or negative that social media can have, and how quickly something can be spread that's not true. It's not based on anything factual. Hey, is it helpful? So by sharing that, are you going to make are you going to help someone learn something new? Are you going to build somebody up? Are you going to be a positive force in somebody's experience? Is it inspiring? I think, again, the difference is us. Okay? The difference is each one of us going on social media and making a change in the entire digital community. So are you inspiring anybody? Are you promoting good in something, whatever the content is that you're sharing? Is it necessary? I think a lot of times teaching students too, we've all been there. Somebody has said something, you're in the moment, you're hot, and you are going to let your opinion be known. Hey, think about that before you do it. Hey, maybe give it 10, 15 minutes before it actually you hit that send button. Hey, so is what you're sharing, is it necessary? Hey, does it need to be said online out loud to everyone? And then is it kind? I think this is something that is so important, that any place that we can find instilling kindness in our students makes such a difference. And that seems so simple, but it is so complex. And it would make such a difference if we helped our students to understand that. I also know that the experience many of you have had with your students on social media, often it turns into something that is not kind. Hey, and students are, especially the younger they are, they're not emotionally developed to be able to handle that. And so it's so important again for us to be involved in their interactions. And honestly, y'all, it's okay to take it away for a little while. Hey, if it's something that is really truly hurting a student and you need to build up that emotional intelligence, have conversations with them, help them work on their self-esteem, it's okay to take a break from social media. And I think it's important to show them that if you decide to go that direction. I also like to say that it's okay for you to say no. You can tell your child that is not where you need to be, and that's not what I'm comfortable with. And eventually we'll talk about it and we'll see. Okay. So I think just knowing that, and it's hard when so many young students are on social media and are on cell phones, devices for social interactions, to be the one that does not take that step with your child. But it's okay for us to say no to them too sometimes. Now, when using your social media, I also think it's really important to, and these really are intended to help guide your conversations. And so when you are having those conversations with students, and these are just a few. I mean, honestly, there's a whole section on this in Raising Digital Leaders. And so again, I'm going to keep plugging that book so that you will consider checking out getting a copy from us. But probably the top ones I pulled off of the list is helping students know we always keep personal information private. Hey, do not addresses, phone numbers, emails, those types of things when posting, making sure that we keep that so that people that we don't necessarily know, because it is possible to make connections online with those that you don't know. Also, we always share if we plan to meet up with someone, we meet online in person. And what I mean by that is that you want to establish that relationship if your child is going to be on social media to talk to you. Hey, to make sure that they share with you if they're going to meet someone in person that they found online. Hey, and so that's going to open up the doorway in the conversation about whether you want to allow that, right? But just making sure that they know that they can come to you and they can talk. We're always going to share appropriate content, even when pressured to do otherwise. And so we're seeing more and more increasingly young students involved in inappropriate content that involves pictures, typically being sent to one another, to others. And so having that conversation about respecting themselves, again, going back to that digital footprint. And once something is out there and it is online and it's public or private, honestly, I say public, but really even when it's sent in between just two people, it's permanent. Okay? It's always there. So having that conversation up front and ahead of time, they are going to experience some of that peer pressure from others to be involved in something like that. And then we engage in kind, respectful language towards others of all opinions, all cultures, all races, and all genders. I mean, that to me, again, is such a powerful positive, honestly, in social media is being able to see the opinions of others and learn about different topics maybe that they wouldn't be exposed to. The world is literally in front of them when done appropriately. Right. And so they can go out there and they can learn so many great things. But just really talk to them about how important it is to make a positive impact on their digital community and being very careful and intentional on the interactions that they do have. All right. And so, like I said, this is just a 10-minute snippet just to kind of share some of the main points that our team felt like we wanted to pull out of Chapter 3 in our Raising Digital Leaders book. But within the book, there is also more information. It goes into detail and some great ideas, honestly, as a parent, to help guide your student when they're engaging in many of the really popular apps that we see for social media for our students. And so YouTube is one, talks about KidTube is another alternative to YouTube if you're not comfortable with that. I think it's important for parents to really know about this. Often my own child, I have a 6-year-old, and recently he told me he wants to be a YouTuber. Hey, and so kind of just thinking about, I mean, there's a career, there's a whole industry involved in that. What is the best way to approach that? Again, not that is for every parent to decide for themselves, but I really valued and found very interesting the information in the book talking about YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. Hey, these are some ones that many of our students do engage in, and so I think as a parent, it just puts power in your corner, and that's the whole purpose and reason behind us wanting to present emPOWERed, is to help you with this information and to know what to be looking out for, what are some of the true values of each of these things, and then just some cautions to have in place at your home to best support your child. All right, so I'm going to leave you with that. I hope you found this valuable. Again, I wish in a perfect world we would have about an hour to talk through just this information alone. But again, the book is available to you. We hope that you will share this with friends, invite others to join you on emPOWERed. And I am going to sign off for this time and let the awesome continue with our team. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you, Lauren. Hi, everyone. My name is Chelsea Reyes, and I'm here with the Guidance and Counseling Department. Today, we're here to talk about Naviance, our college and career readiness program. This program is available to all ECISD students in grades 8 through 12. This is a wonderful program that is now available in its second year for our students. This collaborative space is for students, families, teachers, and counselors to stay engaged in our students' college and career planning. There are several features that are available within the program. Some of those features include the ability for ECISD counselors and college and career advisors to provide messages to the student's dashboard and the parent's dashboard. There are also links available to important websites to help get our students to college or be prepared for a career. Some of the things that we offer is educational planning. We offer this every year. Students are able to choose the courses that they would like for the next school year. They're also able to create a list of courses of interest and choose their high school career endorsement. Some of the other features that are available include college and career pieces. In that, they can build a college list, watch career-related videos, request transcripts, letters of recommendation, and they can compile and store searches for colleges in there. So to let you know more about it, you can visit our website, or you can watch the next video from JC. Thank you.
Thank you, Chelsea, for digging deeper into Naviance. Now, as a high school senior, I am going to dig a little bit more into the college supermatch search. So we are going to go under the tab called Colleges, go under Find Your Fit, and click on Supermatch College Search. Now, once this page loads, it's going to bring up all of these little tabs here at the top. This is kind of important to show just what kind of matches you have to each college, maybe based on each of these little tabs up here: location, academics, just a student life, maybe the cost of tuition. So we're going to go through this, and according to my preferences, we're going to actually go ahead and do it. So as a high school senior, I am applying to places in Florida at the moment. So we'll go ahead and choose that. Again, this is totally on your preference, so you don't have to choose what I'm choosing. Go through and do it according to what you are wanting. So again, here's academics. So you're going to keep going through each of these tabs. You can press these next buttons, or you can press close and go through each of these. So I'm going for a bachelor's. Depending on what year you want, associates would be 2 years, bachelor's would be 4, and so on. Again, here's your majors. So depending on what major you're choosing for the colleges that you're applying to, you can enter as many as you want. So if I don't only want that one, I can go ahead and enter multiple. Let's say this one. Okay, you can also input your minors if that's something that you would like to look for in any colleges that you're wanting to look at and look further into. Okay, as for your GPA and everything, you can go ahead and put that here. If you want to put acceptance rates or anything, this will help you look at how easily you can get accepted into here, how hard it is, how difficult it is, just depending on what kind of school life and student life that you're looking at. Okay, so we can go ahead and click next. Okay, student life. Depending on what clubs and organizations you're going to want to get into. If you're in band, if you're in music, if you're in theater, whatever you're wanting, you can put in here. That way you will go ahead and get the organizations and clubs that you're looking into. So for me, I would put pre-medical. If you're interested in Greek life, that's where you would put it. We can go on to the next one. Now, diversity. So depending on what you want, again, just list your preferences here. Out-of-state students, international students. We can go ahead and click next. All right, now if there's anything that's selected that you do not like, you can go ahead and unclick that. All right. So we're just going through each of these. Right. For me, I'm not in any athletics or anything, but if you are, you can go ahead and add your sports in this section right here. That way they can go ahead and meet your criteria. Resources, if you are interested in any of these daycare services, tutoring services at any of the schools that you want to apply to, I would go ahead and input that. Okay, so when you are finished with this last one, you're going to go ahead and press close. You're going to click save search, pick a name for it. So we'll just put college search, save it. And then it will pull up all of your results. So as for these all fit, and these are all below 100%. So you can go ahead and compare all of the colleges within the state that you're applying to, just depending on where you want to go. Under this, you can see why you got that percentage, why maybe it wasn't the best fit for you. Say if you keep going down, you just get lower percentages. You can go ahead and look at why and pull up why that didn't come out the way you wanted it, or why that's not the college that is 100% matched to you. So just depending on you, you can go ahead and look through these. You can look at the tuition, in-state, out-of-state. You can look at the highlights, virtual tours, if that's what you're looking at, the average SAT and ACT scores. It is really beneficial. Just as a high school senior, I know myself, I have to be looking at what college is appropriate for me, what college is going to have the programs that I want and that I need. So in the long run, this is going to help you. And don't be discouraged if you get maybe a score under 100 for the college that you're really wanting to go to. Look more into it, dig deeper into it, see why it is, and if that really is the best fit for you for the next 4 years, 6 years, however long you're going to be going for. So just make sure you're looking at each of those. Make sure you're looking at room and board if you're looking at wanting to live on campus. But that should be it. If you do want to do another search, you can go ahead and save this search like I showed you. Do another search depending on different majors or different criteria if you want to do that, or you can just start over if you messed up or if you just feel like the ones you put aren't the criteria that you want to meet. All right, that is all I have for you, and thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, JC. I'm Christelle, and today I'm going to be sharing my vision board I created with y'all. My vision board is basically, like aspirations I have for my future. So I kind of centered it around what I wanted to do, what I'm planning to do so far. So on the first corner, I chose Texas Tech and Texas State University because I honestly haven't decided between the two universities. And I guess it just depends, like once I apply and see which one accepts me, or even if they both do, I had to make that decision still. So right above it, well, actually one of my things got deleted. Right above it, I just keep studying. It's like a little meme, like as of Dory. I chose to put that because in the career path I want to take, it's definitely going to be revolved around nursing. That's what I've kind of decided so far. So it is going to be difficult, and I am going to have to study a lot. So that's why I chose to put that. So I put a nurse practitioner right there, and I put a NICU nurse. because I don't know, I'm not exactly sure what type of nurse I want to be yet, or even if I would like to be a doctor. I'm honestly not sure. So I just put those two because those are some things that have interested me. So right below it, I put, it's like a little traveling picture. So that's one of my goals I have. I really do love traveling, so I would like to do that in my future. But all of this is only going to be possible if I get a good career. So right below it, I put like a little increasing money thing type of chart, and it just shows, you know, like obviously with whatever career path I choose, I could just make as much as possible and yeah, just do good. And then right beside it, I put like the hearts that help. It's just basically like I want to do something like my career that I want to choose. It just, I want to care towards people, or I want to be helpful for whoever needs it. You know, like nursing, I just feel like that's something I would enjoy doing. So that's why I put that. And then right beside it, oh my gosh, it's not showing. Oh, I put success. There's just like a little cute meme I liked. And beside it, I put throw kindness around like a confetti because I don't know, that's just a personality trait that I have. I really do feel like it's important to be kind to everyone because you never know what anyone's going through. So I just like that quote, so I included it. And then in the center of my entire board, I put giving back because that's my ultimate goal. Like with my entire career, because I even thought about going into law. You know, I'm not sure. I might even want to consider that still, but my ultimate goal is just to give back to anyone in need, you know. And that's why I kind of like the NICU nurse as well, because I'd just be helping others, and like I would enjoy that. I think like helping preemies. So yeah, that's just the center of my vision board because that's my ultimate goal. But yeah, that's my entire vision board.
Thank you, Crystal, for sharing your vision board with us today. We wish you all the best in your future, and we have no doubt that you will accomplish all of your dreams. So that's this month's challenge, everyone. Create your own vision board. Begin with finding your passions, like these students at Dowling. Think about what you want to do after graduation. We invite you to check out the recorded Facebook Live session from October to learn all about your post-secondary options. And as always, like these students from Travis, think big. Check out all the resources available on the emPOWERed site where you can download your own virtual template for a vision board. Once you are finished, hang it somewhere, display it somewhere that you can see it every single day. That is the only way to keep that motivation and inspiration front and center. Well, thank you all for joining our November session of emPOWERed. Today we began by thinking what we are grateful for and connecting that with our attitude towards gratitude. Then making that connection to how do we start thinking about our future? How do we connect to that world? And making sure that our digital footprints that we are paying attention to our digital footprints, that we are planning for our future, utilizing things like Naviance that are available to you, and finally putting it all together in a vision board. So that is your challenge. Don't forget to give us feedback. We want to continue to get better for you. Order your own copy of Raising Digital Leaders. We still have a few free books available to you, so make sure that you go to our site and ask for one. Make sure that you join us for our next session. Invite someone to come with you. It is planned right now for December 16, and we can't wait to see you then. This is Virginia Hunt. I serve as the AVID District Coordinator. And on behalf of the AVID Department, the Guidance and Counseling Department, the Digital Teaching and Learning Department, and the entire emPOWERed team, we want to wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving. See you soon.